Hello and welcome to Zonie Living, Business, Adventure, and Leadership. Well, this holiday shopping season is like nothing we've ever seen before. This year is defined by pent-up consumer demand brought about by the pandemic, a workforce shortage that's impacting everything from hours of operation for restaurants and retail stores to the number of big trucks driving goods across the country, and now this scene, what has become a familiar backdrop off the Southern California coast. These are container ships. Do you see them out there on the ocean? These and many others are waiting to be unloaded at Los Angeles ports, now a hallmark of the season, punctuating the supply chain backlog. Joining me now is Professor of Practice and Management Teresa Beerer from the W.A. Franke College of Business at Northern Arizona University. She's a career journalist and broadcaster and has been following what I call the holdup at the harbor. Teresa, thanks for joining us.
Really happy to be here. Thank you. Yes, as you said at the very beginning, this is unlike any other holiday season we've ever seen. Right off the coast, you showed a picture from Huntington Beach, and I grew up in that area, and I never saw anything like that. Of course, that was a while ago. But there are many problems that are contributing to this, and we as consumers are going to be seeing it and feeling it, not just for the holiday season, but for a long time to come. Some people are saying what we're seeing now is a big change in our lives in the supply chain. I talked to one gentleman, he said that these delays at the ports are going to be translated into a complete change in shopping. And that's already been underway for many years, and Amazon is a clear example of that. But whether or not, or to that degree, it will change, we'll just have to see over time.
You know, a lot of people are blaming the shortage of truck drivers.
The truck drivers are a big problem, and the American Association of Truckers says this year we are seeing, actually by December, this time, 80,000 people the shortage has become.
Unbelievable.
And isn't that hard to imagine?
Yes.
And it's not just that many of those drivers are finding other opportunities that don't require them to work 70 hours a week and drive all around the country. Sure. Because there is a shortage of workers in many industries. They're finding other work. But then we're also seeing just the truck drivers themselves aging out. It's primarily a male-dominated industry, and they're getting older and they're just retiring because it's not the kind of work that you do forever. And then there are the numbers of people who would like to drive trucks, but they either have criminal driving records or they cannot pass the drug test because marijuana is still federally banned substance. And in a lot of areas, we're seeing the legalization. So sure. Those three things are really contributing to this big supply chain backup that we're seeing.
And all of this is adding up to supply and demand. So we're seeing prices rise everywhere, and we're seeing it at the pumps. We're, of course, seeing it at the grocery stores. And now, as we're out holiday shopping for gifts, we're seeing it across the board.
And people who are in business in the United States and in Arizona are saying that this means we should just focus more closely on shopping at small businesses and shopping locally. And that's a great boon for Arizona businesses. And with the supply chain problems, we're likely going to see, everybody's talking about inflation, but all of the things that we're accustomed to buying locally even are going to continue to go up in price. That is the trajectory for 2022 and beyond.
A little bit grim, but given the overall situation, we have impacts on retail from the pandemic. We have the labor shortage, we have the supply chain challenges. So the emphasis on buying local is stronger than ever before.
Absolutely, it's stronger than ever. And another part of this whole situation is the supply chain and the availability of goods. And one of the people I spoke with is an import-export person. She's been in that industry for almost 30 years. And she says at the moment, she's not even doing imports because it's so expensive. And she said one container, which is the 40-foot things that you see on the back of trucks driving alongside
Sure.
you on the interstate, those used to be about $2,000 at times to bring into the United States. So one truck from Asia, 2,000, now is as high as 20,000.
Whoa.
And then when you add what still hasn't been implemented, but has been threatened for more than a month now, is these fees on all those ships that we saw on the ocean because of those delays and the lack of truck drivers picking them up from the ports of Long Beach and LA, which are the busiest in the whole country, that if those fines start taking place, then thousands of extra dollars will be added per container and drive up the costs even more. So
Sure.
you can see why it's not as fruitful and lucrative to be doing a lot of importing. And if I'm a person and I'm importing something from China and the cost has gone through the roof, you're starting to see this trend of people canceling their orders. And so again, I think it's a long-term business situation and shift that's underway.
Sure, it's a complicated issue. And if there were ever a time to flex our buying power muscles, it would be now, as we've talked about, to help boost some of our small local businesses. So thank you again, Teresa Beer, and that's Teresa Beer. She is a professor of practice and management at NAU's W.A. Franke College of Business up in Flagstaff. So I hope we'll hear from you again in the new year, Teresa, to follow up on this story and see how the shopping situation is and how our small businesses did through the holiday season.
I can't wait to find out. Thank you for having me.
Happy holidays, Teresa.
You too.
Bye-bye. You can read Teresa's story in the December issue of Flagstaff Business News or go to flagstaffbusinessnews.com. As we focus on shopping local, I want to introduce you to Sedona entrepreneur Karen Russell. Karen's focus on healthy food and helping others brought her to Sedona. She was a nutritionist and health coach working for the local hospital back in her small hometown of Ohio. She was teaching people how to eat better and to improve their health, but she was frustrated over the fact that she couldn't find organic food for herself or her clients. She was also suffering from a number of autoimmune conditions such as fibromyalgia. And one night she had what I call a bathtub revelation. While taking a bath, it came to her. She had to move. She chose Sedona. Her story is a fantastic one. It's about listening to your heart and your gut, and I mean that literally. Her environment was making her physically sick, so she told me, I know that inflammation was at the root of all disease caused by gluten and processed sugar. Many people don't connect the dots between how they're feeling and what they're eating. I knew I had to get rid of the chemicals and get moving. Well, that was not even 10 years ago. Fast forward to today, and this is Karen's Gluten-Free Bakeshop in Sedona. She says she's still helping people get healthier, but she never dreamed she'd own and operate a bakery. The baked goods she sells are often inspired and named for land formations in the area, including the chocolate Diablo cookies. You see those here, made with dark chocolate, of course, cayenne pepper, and ginger. They are like happiness in your mouth, she says. And Red Rock Energy Bites, that's a mix of almond flour, maple syrup, and beetroot. You can see the label here, organic everything, coconut nectar, coconut oil, beetroot powder. But her most important ingredient, she says, is love. She says how you feel when you're making the food goes into the food. If you're calm and happy, that transfers over. Karen's secret to deliciousness is two things then: healthy ingredients and love. I like to stop in at our bakery before hiking in Sedona because, as Karen says, when you're hiking, you want to keep higher protein in mind. She bakes cookies that are packed with protein, ingredients such as nuts, chia seeds, quinoa flour, and almond flour, and some of her food comes packaged in little packages that work really well in a backpack, and they really hold up. You have to trust me on this. This healthy food is absolutely delicious. Gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, non-GMO. So the big chocolate Diablo cookie was the picnic that I chose for my recent hike, which is around Coffee Pot Rock on a sweet trail called Teacup, and then on to Soldiers Pass, and then over to the 7 sacred pools. This is Coffee Pot Rock in West Sedona. It mimics a percolator type coffee pot. Now, millennials may not recognize this look, but this is what my mom used to use. So if you look over there on that rock on the edge of the screen, you can see the spout on the edge and the handle along the other side. I believe it's in the shadows there. This is a formation you can see from just about anywhere in Sedona. And the trailhead is nestled in a neighborhood, but it's easy to find because the streets around it, like Maxwell House, sound like coffee things and things that go with coffee, like Sugarloaf Summit. So this is Sugarloaf. It's a gentle red rock formation with smooth ledges. I love Sedona hiking because of the naturally terraced slopes, which allow you easy access to climb and, more importantly, to get back down. And then if you go far enough, a teacup connects with Soldiers Pass, and there are some incredible views from Soldiers Pass, plus other cool features like the 7 sacred pools. Isn't this beautiful? You can see the pools right there. They have water in them now, even though we haven't had a good rain in a while. And here you'll notice an amazing backdrop of Coffee Pot Rock again, but this is from the other side. You'll want to keep going and find a red rock vista to enjoy your healthy snacks and lots of water, because this is what you'll be treated to. Now, this was a hazy day from a nearby fire in mid-November, but even when the skies aren't their usual pristine, clear blue skies, you still can't beat views like this. And that wraps up this edition of Zonie Living, Business, Adventure, and Leadership. Remember to shop local, get some exercise, and try to choose some healthy snacks this holiday season. I'm Bonnie Stevens.